What's up, YouTube? Working on Gunner today. Made a kind of a sad decision on Gunner the other day. It's been kind of a decision I've been brewing up for a while now. Gunner is your typical Minnesota, Iowa truck, rust belt truck, and he has pretty much his body and frame has pretty much rotted to the point of which both front fenders are starting to look like this. The front fenders are gone from here down. Rocker panels, cab corners, inner rockers. Some of the floors are starting to rust away. The frame has got a rot through spot up under here where there's the big clump of metal together, and then like the main where it starts to come down and go back. It's rusted through there. I mean, of course, you could definitely fix all these issues if you wanted to, which I considered doing it. I really did. I have a lot of good memories in this truck. I have some unpleasant memories with this truck, and I mean, I'd have to say the good memories overpower the bad memories, but there's just a lot of work this truck needs. I mean, it's got 200, almost 10,000 miles on it. The engine and transmission, very sound. It's got a 4.8 liter LS motor in it, the LR4 4L60E. That's been rebuilt. It's got a shift kit in it. Really nice transmission. The 4.8 in it is one of the hardest running 4.8s I have ever seen. This thing runs better than most 5.3s I've drove. So, I don't know. But my plan is, because of that, its heart and its soul is going to go on into another project. This computer in this truck has already been flashed for removing the secondary O2s, because I put a off-road Y pipe on it. It has a very loud exhaust, which will be over into the next project as well. I'm going to make sure that vehicle is very loud also. But my plan is, I'm going to pull my fender flares off. These should fit my Suburban. I'm going to go ahead and put them on my Suburban. I pulled my LED light bar off the top, my antennas off, my front push bar with the lights and stuff. Them are all going to go on my Suburban. I'm not sure about the push bar yet, but I'm kind of debating that. They're going to go on the Bourbon probably, though. I went ahead, and being as I'm pulling the motor on this truck, I'm going to take the radiator, air conditioning, condenser, all that stuff out. I'm going to try not to hack the truck up as much as possible, though, because I do plan to keep this truck just for spare parts, and it's kind of got a spot in my heart, so I just kind of don't want to totally crush it yet. Like I said, though, I could fix it. It's cracked in a pretty easy spot that could be welded pretty simple back here. It's broke on up front farther too. It's got a crack in it, but it's cracked right there. Like I said, it's got the rust through spot, but it's also cracked up here, which you can't see unless you're under the truck, but it's cracked up in here where it's really hard to weld back up in there on the inside, and you'd have to pull all the lift down and to weld it up, and it's just a lot of time. The front differential leaks like a sieve. It doesn't kick into four-wheel drive all the time. The plunger works fine. It's something in the front differential itself that has problems. What it is, I don't know. It's got, like I said, 210,000 miles on it. It's got you can hear it audibly in the truck over the exhaust. Sometimes it growls real bad, especially because it'll get halfway locked in, and I don't know what the deal is. But doesn't have four-wheel drive all the time. The rear differential, I've put an axle shaft in it. I put a center section in it. The bearings need to be completely gone through. The bearings are shot. There's chunks of metal everywhere in this differential. This rear end is would need a complete rebuild anyways. So there's a rear end that needed rebuilt. The front end needs rebuilt. The transfer case, I think, has got the spot where it never had the updates put in it, and it's wore the hole in the case, so that would need addressed because it started to leak pretty severely, I've noticed. And it is there's like this box is shot. I'd have to find another box. It's gone up under here. Up on both sides, it's that bad. The floor is rotten in that corner, so I mean, you'd pretty much need a box The only thing holding this box together in certain spots is actually this nice spray-in bed liner, which I'm gonna kind of miss. But yeah, that's the only thing holding it together in spots. Like I said, this corner, the fender is gone. This is not as bad up under here. This is still pretty solid up here. But if you look up under here, there is nothing, like the fuse box is movable. It's very loose up under there, so, which of course I'll be taking that with for, well, I won't be taking the fuse box, but I'll be taking some of the harness with for the LS swap. Yeah, I'm probably gonna run these wheels and tires on the project. I have an 85 K5 that I've never really done any videos about. This is where that 4.8 is going in. And yeah, it's got significantly less rust than this has on it. It has less rust than my red pickup. It's starting to rust in the rockers, and there's a few spots on the floor is the only problem with it right at the moment. It needs a lot of stuff. It's been setting out in the field. I've owned it for about 6 years now. Actually, yeah, it'd be about 6 years. I've had it about 6 years, 5-6 years. And it's just setting, and I bought it, had a bad 350 in it, had a knock, put a 305 in it, had it running for a little bit, never drove it, left it all winter with water in it for about, I left it all winter with the water in it for 4 years now, or actually probably 5, because I only messed with it about the first year I had it. So, and I never licensed it. I just put it in storage, and I drove it down back. We stole the master cylinder, the booster off of it, so I got to go through the brake system, bleed everything out, put a new master and a brake booster in it. I tore a bunch of the carpet out just to keep, because the roof does leak a little bit, and I figured, well, the carpet will just hold the moisture. So I took the carpet out, realized the floor had a few spots, which not a big deal. I can patch the floor. But so that's the plan, to put the 4.8 and 4L60 from this truck into the 85 K5. So yeah, but like I said, the filler door is rusted. Just look at that. I mean, just horrible. I actually have another one sitting in the back here that I had for it, but as you guys can see, some of the stuff, I got the whole grill and everything. Like I said, I'm not going to try to destroy this truck, because my dad has a 2002, and I have the Bourbon, so, I mean, parts in this truck is pretty handy. I mean, window switches, and because his is an extended cab also. I really am going to consider putting these seats and the 03 center console I have in the Blazer, so I can have 3 people up front and then the 2 in the back, or the 3 in the back, so I can haul 6 passengers possibly. But I also like this center console. I like the newer 03 better because it has cup holders, and that's why I'm going to use it. And this lid is also broken. But these are both mechanical seats, which is awesome. You don't have to run any wiring. They have the built-in seat belts, which is awesome. It's not a full-top Blazer. It's an 85. So, yeah, it's not a full-top Blazer. But, yeah. This has the Escalade cluster, which is going to go in the Bourbon as well. I tore my entire stereo system out of this. This had my 3 MVX amps, which had pretty much all over there on the ground in there. That's going to go in the Suburban as well. Most everything that was in this truck is going to the Suburban. Just because the Suburban's taking this truck's place as the winter driver. And I got a few things. I got a ground wire that's up underneath here. I got to unhook. It's hooked to the frame. Yeah, I'm not going to pull the engine yet. I got some stuff. And unfortunately, it has almost a full tank of fuel in it. But that crack is getting bigger, and the spot that's broke up here is literally splitting apart. You can hear the frame rattling together, so that's not a real good sign. So I figured, I might as well, why it's not got me killed, I might as well retire it. And yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I thought I'd just give you guys an update of what's going on. We're approaching fall here real fast. So I don't know how much of the K5 I'm going to get done this year. Which I'm not going to fight much of the Elements stuff. I'm going to get it down here hopefully. Here, I'm going to get the Camaro. I got the Camaro back down here again. Long story. I drove it a little bit. I got it plated and drove it, and it died on me. Got it on a trailer, got it down here, and started up off the trailer and drove off. So The fuel pump wasn't running, so I got a bad fuel pump and probably a full up filter, or stopped up filter, probably full of crap. So I'm gonna get a Racetronics fuel pump and harness kit and filter. Not 100% sure that's gonna happen this year. I don't know yet. I'm not a big, that's kind of on the back burner right now, because that car I want to put good money into and good parts. And for right now, I'm just kind of, the K5, I've had it longer than most everything I have. So I have 2 vehicles that I've had for multiple years. There's a 84 brown Camaro on this channel, a Berlinetta, that is got the digital dash, and I think there's 1 video on it. I still have that car from way back, and it has some sentimental value to me. I need to go get it and get it somewhere. It's sitting in a place that I don't go check out very often. The car's probably destroyed by now, probably half rotten, but that car's got sentimental value to me. I'm definitely going to put some time into that car later on, and I have thought about it and rolled it around in my mind, and I need to stop doing that, taking that 6-liter and that 6-speed out of that car and putting in that brown Camaro, because I'm a 3rd gen fan. I love 3rd gens, but I don't know, I really like that 4th gen. I like the 4th gen. I like the rack and pinion steering much better than 3rd gen steering. That car's pretty solid, and I've already done the manual window conversion and did the whole harness and the dash, the airbags, leads, and all that stuff. I kind of want to keep that car a 6-speed, but I also thought about getting a 5.3 and building it and putting a 480 in it and putting a turbo on it and making a little drag setup or something. But I don't know. All it takes is money, you know. So, but yeah, my plan is to run the radiator, possibly the power steering cooler, which I'm gonna get a new one, but possibly the power steering cooler, the transmission cooler, the radiator in the K5. I want to use this cooling system out of this truck in the K5. I'm going to try to do the K5 swap as cheap as possible. I got to source 85 drive shaft because it's actually got an MP203, a Turbo 350 MP203 transfer case, a transmission in it now. They swapped that out. It's also had an axle swap, which I'm hoping it's got 373 gears in it, because then I won't touch them for a while. It's got a 4-inch lift right now. Yeah, once I get it down here, I'm definitely going to check the differentials out. I have the cross member, the 700R4 cross member and front drive shaft for like an 85 pickup truck, which is the same as the Blazer. I just do not have a Blazer drive shaft. I do have a Suburban drive shaft, which if I have to, I will take it somewhere and have it shortened, because the MP203 has a fixed drive shaft, or has a slip drive shaft, and the MP241, which is what I'm using, because it has a speed sensor in it. It's out of a 91 Suburban. I'm going to use it with the 4L60 so I get the speed sensor so it shifts correctly. And I'm going to use it, and it takes the 700 R4 style drive shaft with the slip yoke. So, I mean, they do make a solid yoke adapter you can buy for the 241, but I'm not going to really worry about that right now. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this truck. I'm going to get most of the stuff out of it I need. I pull the motor, transmission. I'm going to pull the transfer case out of this and just throw it in the bed. Why? It's because it'll be just the easiest to do at the time. And if I'll pull it apart, and if it looks solid, I might replace the rear cover and do the updates in it, and just maybe go through it, put clutches and whatnot. I can go ahead and sell it as a rebuilt transfer case, or an overhauled transfer case or something. I mean, go through, I'll give a list of what I put in it. But yeah, rebuilt one before in the past, so I mean, we'll go ahead and do it again. That one's still kicking. So, but yeah, if anybody remembers when I bought these tires, yeah, Milestar Patagonias, these got about 12 to 15,000 miles on them, and they're already pretty much to the wear marker. So yeah, I mean, they didn't wear the greatest, but they are an awesome aggressive tire. They don't make a lot of road noise. I think one might be separating though, so don't quote me on how great they are. I think one might be separating. But yeah, being the K5's in storage, I am going to take my Tan 10 vanity plates and transfer them from Gunner to my K5. The K5 has had a name. His name is Kaiser. And I named that a long time ago, so, I mean, actually, I think my nephew named it Kaiser. But, yeah, my little Vault Boy from Fallout 76 is going to come over into the K5 as well. So So we're going to use a lot of stuff off Gunner to do the Suburban and the K5. So he's not going to waste, that's for sure. But yeah, he's kind of sore with all this cancer. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night here real shortly. I'm going to go ahead and move some stuff around. Here's my 52-inch light bar. Like I said, that's going on the Bourbon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. He looks different without the light bar. Well, he looks way different without the grill and headlights, but yeah. He's pretty much had a good run, so. And all the bushings are shot and everything. It's ridiculous. But yeah. Brake lines are half rusted. I had to do brake lines here soon. So, I mean, there's just a lot of work, and the doors literally. I replaced pins in this when I first got it. And they're already. And it's not the pins that are worn out, it's actually the door hinge. So, it need door hinges. And yeah, it need a lot of work. I like the truck, and it does have sentimental value to me, and it'd be worth fixing, but this is just, at the end of the day, the truck is going to be a $3,500 truck max with all the rust fixed. And the rear end's fixed, and getting everything functioned and working right. Where the K5, the square body market is pretty hot right now. And an LS swapped overdrive with cruise control, because I'm going to have cruise. Definitely want to get AC in it too. I want to get AC in both my squares. And yeah, there were some pretty decent money. So, I mean, I'm not going to, if I put this motor in the K5, I'm not going to get rid of the K5. I've had the K5 for 6 years almost, and I want to get it to the point where I can drive it. I want to daily drive it in the summertime. I want to get a convertible top for it so I can pop the top down and drive with the top off. Because I really like the Jeep experience, but I've already got the K5, and I like the bigger stance of the K5, so yeah. But yeah, I've rambled on enough. It's going on, geez, it's going to be, yeah, 18 minutes here, almost, and yeah. But yeah, that's my decision with Gunner here. I'm going to put him into retirement, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your week.